home and
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the 22nd Annual Garden State Film Festival. We are live at the Shared Universe Podcast Lounge at the Berkeley Hotel in beautiful Asbury Park. My name is Ming Chen.
CJ Cullen.
And I have yet another amazing filmmaker, feature length, I believe.
That's right, yeah.
Can you introduce yourself and tell us about your film?
Sure. My name's Raymond Wood, and I directed a movie playing tonight at 9 o'clock called Faceless After Dark.
Yeah, I'm throwing up the poster right there.
You got it?
Right
Yeah,
there.
Hey, there we go.
That's
Nice.
That is.
That's
that,
some
I
poster,
see that
huh?
that poster. I want to go see it. So.
Well, there you go. That's the idea. It might give a little too much away, but that's for people to decide, I think.
Yeah, leave it up to your own interpretation.
Yeah.
What is Faceless After Dark about?
Well, it's a home invasion thriller, and that's kind of how it starts. And then there's a bit of a twist, turn, kind of psycho-esque thing halfway through, and it becomes a whole different movie. And I don't want to give away anything else beyond that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So 86 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty short. Yeah, it's.
Okay, that's feature length. Though.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
That's
It
not
is.
that short. But
I guess. I mean, I like short movies. I like
Yeah.
those sort of like
Those
pulpy-
hour and a half
Oh,
movies,
yeah.
less than
yeah,
an hour
you're
and a
right.
half.
It seems
All
like
those comedies are.
everyone wants 90 minutes now, right?
Yeah, but like
90.
Like
our
all this-
movie is all one character, and
Yeah.
if you're following one person, like it gets tiring after a certain point. So
Okay.
I feel like
Yeah.
you need to kind of get through it quickly.
Yeah, unless you did it like you did it, which is it is paced awesomely.
I hope so. Yeah, we'll see.
I believe one of the tenets here that if they accept you here at the Garden State Film Festival is good pacing.
Someone liked it. Yeah.
I think it was more than one person.
this-
It's a whole
Sure,
committee,
sure.
my friend.
Is this your first feature?
No, it's not, but it's the first one that I would like to claim.
Okay.
I've made some, but they've been learning experiences. I'll
Okay.
put it
Of
that
course,
way.
yeah.
Those are good too.
Yeah,
Those are good,
exactly.
too.
And the funny thing is, the guy who'd financed and these are all like mini budget,
Sure.
like tiny movies.
Yeah,
but
welcome to indie film,
yeah,
my friends.
exactly. But the guy who'd financed the last couple of movies I did, we were talking about what to do next, and he said basically the impetus for Faceless After Dark was he told me one day, he's like, well, I can finance it up to X amount as long as you put a killer clown in it somewhere.
That was his only requirement.
That was like the only thing, and I was
killer
like,
clown.
Just throw a killer clown in
yeah.
it somewhere.
Another killer clown movie. But I was like, all right, you know what? Challenge accepted. I think we can figure this out.
Okay.
So I called my friend Jenna, who's in the movie, and she co-wrote the script with her co-writer Todd Jacobs, and they came up with an idea that we thought was like different.
Okay, and like not ham-handed and
Yeah,
forced
exactly.
and you just didn't put it in for the sake of it. But hey, man, to get your financing, if that's the only rule, it's not
Well,
bad.
the irony, the other side of that story is this was pre-COVID, and then
Right.
so we came up with this great script, and then COVID hit,
Yeah.
and then finances dried up at that point. So then I was
Oh,
like,
man.
well, shit, we have this great script that I
Right.
love and we all feel good about, but now there's no more money.
Yeah.
So we did the indie thing where it's just like, all right, well, I'm just going to pay for it.
Yes.
And we're going
Yeah.
to shoot it over like 6 months, like spread out.
Yep.
And we did it.
Did it?
And like that's the thing that people always hear, and they're like, oh, God, this is
Yeah,
not
no,
going to go well.
that's what Christopher Nolan did with his first film, Following, and look
Well,
at him
sure.
now. He's an
Yeah.
Oscar winner,
Yeah,
man.
absolutely.
Superhero movies.
It-
that guy can punch his own ticket to whatever he
It's
wants,
true.
man.
It's
The
true.
killer clown story is great. That reminds me of Kevin Smith's big giant spider story.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Yep. John
Yeah.
Peters made
Yep,
him.
yep.
A couple
Just
of
put a big
requirements.
giant spider in
Big
there.
giant spider in it, no big deal, right?
Yeah. And then, of course, the Once Upon a Time in the West or whatever. What was
Wild
that
Wild
movie?
West.
Wild West.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
it is, the big
Yeah,
giant
and then it comes
spider.
out.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, come on, dude. Like, seriously?
I know.
Like,
And
seriously?
the irony, too, of our movie is, so Jenna, who is in the movie and who co-wrote it and, like, does all of her own stunts and everything, she was the lead in the movie Terrifier, if you've
Yep.
heard
Yeah,
of
oh,
that.
yeah,
Of course,
So-
we know those
Yeah,
guys.
Damien Leone. Yeah,
Damien.
right in our
and-
backyard in
Yeah.
Manalapan.
Yeah, absolutely. And Catherine Corcoran, who's also in that movie, they're both in our movie
Right.
playing like loosely fictionalized versions of themselves. So like I snuck into a horror convention with a camera and filmed them,
Right.
and like there's all this like really meta stuff that's kind of like based on her experience having been in this like cult horror thing.
That's so funny.
That's
Cool.
That's amazing. What was the inspiration for this? Was there one particular incident or series of incidents or a life experience? Was like, hey, I think I'm gonna write a feature about this.
Yeah, I mean, I think I give that most of that credit to her because I kind of had an idea going into it that was sort of honestly cookie cutter and not that interesting.
Okay.
And it was their idea to make it this sort of meta thing that kind of, changes halfway through to this like absurdist dark comedy.
Okay.
Like it just goes off the walls by the end. And I was really intrigued by the idea of like making a movie where at every point the audience is saying, "Wait, what the fuck is this movie again?
Yeah.
What am I? What did I sign up
Yeah,
for?"
right, yeah.
Like I don't think movies do that enough. I think it's like I understand like sometimes you have to make promises and then come through on those promises.
Sure.
But I like stuff where I genuinely don't know what's going to happen next, and I feel like that's such a rare thing.
It just
in
makes
movies.
it more different. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
It's like, wait, whoa, where did this come from?
I didn't
Like,
even
this is
expect
cool.
this. Yeah, like
Yeah.
oh, now I'm intrigued. Now I'm interested.
Okay, so there's a couple twists and turns. Is what
Yeah,
you're saying.
exactly. It's hard to talk about it without giving stuff away,
Right.
but
Yeah, no, don't give anything
Yeah,
away because
yeah.
that would
Yeah,
ruin
yeah,
that would
absolutely.
ruin the movie.
You filmed all here in Jersey?
do what?
Where'd you film?
We filmed in Atlanta.
Oh.
So
Oh.
I'm based in Atlanta, and we basically did the whole thing there.
Cool.
And then we like snuck into some horror conventions. And,
Yeah, they got a lot of them down there.
Yeah, you
Dragon
went, which
Con.
one did you go to with Tony Todd?
I keep
and-
forgetting the name of that one.
You,
It's
you
the one
can't
where they
remember?
travel a lot. They go from
Yeah, they have a few
Atlanta
of
to
them.
Chicago,
Oh,
Blank-
I know what you're talking
Indiana
about. Yeah,
to-
yeah.
Yeah,
I can't remember which one it was
I
called.
can't remember what it's called.
yeah, it'll come to us.
Yeah.
It'll come to us for
But
sure.
we filmed some of that. Yeah, we filmed it all kinds of different, and we like pieced them together, kind of like medium cool. We just shot all this stuff and like. made
Yeah,
it part of the
where did
narrative.
you shoot in Atlanta? Atlanta's awesome. I love Atlanta.
It's like, well, basically, there's a couple of there's like a house location, and it's actually multiple houses pretending to be one house. So
Okay.
there's like one that's like in the suburbs, but then like the main place we filmed is like right in town.
Oh,
Which is
okay.
funny because most of the movie takes place at night.
Right.
But like we were in this house that was like 5 feet from other houses.
Okay.
So they were like, there's noise ordinances. You can't like film after a certain point. So we had to black out all the windows. And
Okay,
and
so
it's
they didn't-
big,
what's going on in
giant
there?
windows.
I don't know. There's
Oh, yeah,
nothing going
I
on
can't
in
even
there.
imagine what people driving by must have been like.
Right.
Why is there big like black sheets over all the windows and everything?
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
We're still trying to get our movie about the Claremont Lounge off the ground. And,
Dude, that's like the staple.
it
Like,
is,
Yeah.
but they don't let you shoot inside there. So
no, they
you know,
don't.
Yeah.
For good reason.
Yeah, for very good reason. We're big fans.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
big
Yeah.
fans
Good,
of the
good,
Claremont.
good.
I've been there.
It's a
I've
rite of
enjoyed it.
passage,
It's
certainly.
something.
It is. You've been there. You had fun there. I've been there countless times. Shout out to Kathy and the crew over at the Claremont Lounge. And,
Absolutely.
And
I
my
second
favorite
that.
dancer, Barbie Valentine, for sure.
Okay.
So,
Madam
Yeah.
Zen. And Madam
and
Zen.
Madam Zet outside running the merch booth. We know way too much about
I
that.
see. This is great. It feels like I'm back home already.
Yeah, for sure. That's all. So, what made you submit to the Garden State
Yeah.
Film Festival?
I was here with a short film several years ago.
Okay.
And I came here and I met Christopher Lloyd, and I was like, well, this is
Oh,
a
man.
Yeah, I
festival.
you remember that year.
What year was that? He was here?
Was it before pandemic? Yeah, he was we were over at the Jersey Shore Arts Center. He was over there.
That's where it was. Yeah. But so yeah, that's why I knew about this festival, and I was like eager to submit. And
Oh yeah, Doc Brown was
yeah,
here,
in
yeah.
Asbury
yeah.
Park. That's for sure. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Besides the budget, or maybe it was the budget, what was the biggest challenge that you faced shooting this feature?
Well, certainly budget, because there really wasn't any. But
Right.
but I think the other thing too is just like how kind of hamstrung we were. Like we were shot in an Airbnb, but we're like also making a kind of a gruesome horror film. So that's like trying to figure out how do we still make it like interesting and diabolical, but like without splashing blood all over the walls.
Right,
'cause we
you
couldn't
didn't
do
want to
that.
lose your deposit. You want to get banned from Airbnb.
Exactly.
I wonder I wonder how many horror movies were shot at Airbnb.
And they just don't know.
and we just don't know.
I know of a number of them
Do you know?
well, I know, but they don't say.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Maybe that was the mistake that I was very upfront about. This is what we're gonna do, and like everybody was like, "Well, I don't know. You can't have blood. You can't do this and
Right.
that." And I was like, well, "Shit."
Well, usually in the rules, like, hey, okay, no, you can't have 10 people in here, no parties.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big one. Never do they say like no shooting. in
That's
here.
true. That's
Right.
true. So, legally you're within the clear. But because of that, we ended up doing a lot of visual effects and
Okay.
stuff like that, which I think works fine. A lot of what we ended up doing is like the sort of Hitchcockian thing of like implied violence.
Yes.
Like, so
Yeah.
like,
Nope,
we don't
that's
show
good.
a whole lot,
Yep.
and I actually think it like plays stronger in a lot
Oh
of
yeah,
ways.
for sure.
That is cool.
And what was the shooting schedule? How long did it take you to
We
shoot?
we shot for like 2 weeks in the fall of 21. We came back, shot a few pickup days in January of 22, which was crazy because basically that location I was telling you about,
Yes.
we learned that the homeowners were going to move back in. They were going to repaint, remodel, and
Oh,
like
no.
we had
Oh,
like
boy.
3 days. And the guy was like, "If you want to shoot anything, you got to come now." And I was like,
Wow.
"Oh shit!" So I,
Okay,
like,
so he was friendly to you guys
Yeah, he
shooting
was
there.
nice,
Okay,
yeah,
plus
yeah.
they were renovating anyways, so yeah.
Yeah, so we did break some things. I probably shouldn't say that publicly.
Nah,
we
no,
fixed them. Nobody
Right.
knew.
It's good timing, though. If they're going to fix it up, you might as well
exactly.
break it then,
Sure.
right?
And by renting it out, you help them renovate.
This is
so,
very
yeah,
true. That's
yeah.
true.
So
We helped
everyone-
pay for it.
everyone
Yeah.
wins. Everybody
That's right.
wins.
That's right. But we had to go back in. So I like rushed all the editing as much as I could just to see like what do we still need, what do we still need, and then we scheduled like 2 more days to go back in there and shoot. And this corresponded with the Omicron wave of COVID
Oh, yeah.
cases.
Oh.
So it was
Yeah,
like
which
the
was-
worst possible time.
Yeah, we're all
Wow.
gonna die again.
Wow.
We're all gonna
Everybody
die
got
again.
sick.
Yep.
Our entire crew. So basically, to go from a movie, our crew was probably 25 people. These days was just like 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Yep.
literally operating the camera,
Yep.
and there was like 3 other people there. And we were,
Yeah,
like,
because you had
shooting
to.
it. Yeah, it's
You had
crazy.
to, yeah,
But
for
you got to
sure.
be prepared to do stuff like that,
Yeah.
right? And then we shot
Absolutely.
one more week in April of 22, and basically that was it.
All
How
right.
long was the editing process? The complete.
A long time,
Okay.
yeah. As I did it all myself.
Yeah.
Virtually, I did it all myself because I have a background in post, and so I was like, well, this is how we're going to save money. I'm
Yep.
just going to
Yeah.
do all the posts.
Right.
So a year and a half later, I regretted that decision. But, that's how it goes. And a lot of it has to do with just visual effects because I want to say probably 85, 90% of the shots in this movie are, like, technically
Cool.
visual effects
Okay.
shots. But that's like...
What do you use for the visual effects? Is there any kind of
After
program?
Effects,
Yep,
a lot of
okay.
mocha for stabilizing
Yeah.
and stuff. But most of it, I will like. It's not like elaborate like blood splatters everywhere. Most of it is like continuity of the way the can is facing, or
Yeah.
like making
Oh, okay.
sure.
It's kind of rotoscoping stuff.
Yeah,
or,
didn't have a script supervisor.
Right.
Yeah.
So like. I'm having to like fix continuity in post, which is a decision I made. But it's just one of those things where it's like I'm gonna save money while filming to
Yes.
then have the heartache
No,
later.
no Dunkin' Donut cups in a.
No Starbucks
Seen
cups
back
in,
for a long time.
No,
in,
hopefully all the beer cans are always facing the same direction, and none of them say beer on the side.
Right.
Because that drives me crazy in movies.
No, yeah, put a real label
beer.
on there, man.
Yeah, it's just like beer.
Yeah,
Beer.
throw a Sweetwater or a High Life
If
label
you go
on
back
there.
and
Sweetwater,
you
yeah, there you go.
watch Clerks, pack of cigarettes.
Pack of cigarettes.
Pack of cigarettes.
There you go.
Yeah, nail cigarettes.
Nail cigarettes.
my friends. That's awesome. Have you shown the film at any festivals, or is this the premiere?
We premiered at Fright Fest in the UK, which
Okay.
was awesome
Cool.
and crazy because that festival, I'd never been there before, and they premiere you on a giant IMAX screen in a 700-seat theater.
Holy cow, that's awesome.
And it was like packed out. It was the craziest experience ever, and people loved it. I think our movie has a sort of dry sense of humor that I kind of always knew like English audiences would
yeah.
They
appreciate
love it.
more.
They love that
It's
kind of
so
stuff.
dry.
Yeah.
And it's true. Like everyone loved it at Fright Fest. We played in Manchester and sold out there, and so like we've definitely done well in the UK world.
Cool.
And then we played in Canada, California, New York, and then I'm going to Brazil in a couple of weeks. to
Oh,
show
wow.
it. So
That's
it's
great,
like-
man.
It's going all over the place. I think it's finding like a few little people here and there that kind of appreciate it, which
That's
is cool.
amazing. So
You-
reaction has been good then.
I think so. Yeah.
Do you like the horror cons, playing at horror cons?
Yeah,
A lot of fun?
that's kind of fun. That's such a weird world that
Yeah.
I've
It's a
kind of
great
like
world, though,
gotten
man.
immersed into. Like Jenna is like lives and breathes that world because I mean,
It's different and fun.
yeah, it's so cool too to like I don't know just to see people who I don't know. It's like that whole community is just really
yeah, it's
cool.
very
like,
it's different.
yeah.
Passionate, supportive.
Passionate and people like
And they-
find belonging in this thing
Yep.
where it's like they might feel like outcasts in the regular
Yeah.
world, but then like here you're kind of like part of the crew. You're like
Yeah.
part of the culture.
I always thought it was the best when people take pictures with some of the celebrities and they come dressed as Michael Myers, but they take the photo as Michael Myers,
Right.
not
Yeah.
themselves,
Yeah.
with the celebrity.
Yeah, it's so great.
It's like, that's pretty awesome. It's like,
Yeah,
You're the only
exactly.
one that knows that is you
Exactly.
under the mask. with the person.
Right, but it's
Totally.
that
But
character
they-
come to life.
Yes.
As played by the original person. So really cool. That's cool. What's your goal for this movie? Are you trying to trying to get distribution?
It's going to come out this summer. Yeah, we've been working
Amazing.
with MPI Media, Dark Sky Films, and it's going to come out sometime early this summer.
That's great. Congratulations,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, so it's one of the it's one of those things. It's a really tiny, small movie, but like I feel like it kind of proportionately matches the people who would appreciate
Yep.
it, because it's like it has its audience. You might like it, you might
Right.
hate it, but we can get to people who like it,
Right.
And we don't have to like worry about spending $1 million on marketing and
Right.
stuff like that now. Like we can kind of just go into that horror convention world and like spread the word
Yeah.
of mouth, and like get it to the people who would appreciate
We were
it.
talking to someone earlier about their score, and it was a thriller.
Yes.
How
Sure.
did you come about with getting a score for this type of a film?
The score is a really interesting story. So I went into it saying we're not going to have any score. I was like, we're only going to have placements. We're only going to have like girl punk, like riot girl, queer core, like grungy
Yeah.
music, and that's
Yeah,
going to be
yeah.
the soundtrack, and that's going to be it. Well, that's not really what happened. Basically, a friend of ours who is like in school to be a social worker is also like does music on the side.
Yeah.
He kind of hit me up one day and he's like, just let me kind of like play around and take a crack at some things. And he came up with all of this stuff. So basically the movie, without giving too much away, it kind of evolves as things go. So it starts off with that sort of like messy, grungy punk
Yep.
sound. It starts to get more electronic as things start to get a little bit more controlled. And then by the end, it's like this Mozart operatic
Oh, wow,
sort
okay,
of
this is a
thing.
big
like,
change, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
and it evolves with the character, and like we go into her perspective. So like he really came in and drove all of that, and he did this all just like because he just felt passionate about like what he would be able
Yeah.
to bring to the project. And I was like, oh my God, I don't even know what this would have been without him. And that's Greg Levitt. So
Oh, all
shout
right.
out to
Big
Greg.
shout out to Greg
Yeah.
Levitt for sure. That's amazing. So screening tonight. You said 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, yeah.
Where?
At Asbury Lanes.
At the Lanes.
Very
Okay.
nice.
Yeah,
right over
yeah.
here, right
Okay.
down
Yeah.
the road.
Great venue.
I haven't been there yet. So
Oh,
I'm
you'll
really-
love it. You'll
Oh,
love
yeah,
it.
it's
yeah.
really
You
cool.
will love it.
I've
yes.
heard good things. Yeah, it sounds
it's a good-
exciting.
it's good
Nice and
screening
big.
venue. It's-
Yeah.
It's big, a little spooky, I guess.
Little
you know,
spooky. Oh,
perfect.
It could
Great.
be a little spooky, so yeah. And they have a bar in there, so yeah.
Even better.
And a
'cause that's where
bowling
I'll
alley.
be.
And a bowling alley, yeah.
Well, everybody else is watching. That's where I'll be hanging out.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, did I ask you, what are you working on now? Anything coming up?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like trying to put together a completely different thing. It's just this sort of like quiet indie drama
Okay.
thing about a guy like Jeremiah Johnson, kind of like living
Cool.
off
Wow.
of it.
Okay,
So it
fantastic,
has nothing
man.
to do with this at all.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're diverse.
Yeah,
You're
I guess
dabbling-
Garden State, it's kind of okay to talk. I usually go to horror cons and festivals,
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
they're like, "What are you gonna do next?" And I'm like,
you're
"Just a
ro-
drama." And they're like, "Oh, what?
what?
We don't
romantic
care about
comedy?
that."
Can't
Like
do
that.
that. I don't want that.
Like, okay, well, like, call us back.
Are there going to
Yeah.
be deaths in there? Are
Totally,
people
yeah.
going to die? Is there blood?
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, no, a guy's cart gets broken. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's internally very gruesome.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. And dude, thank you so much.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Great
yeah.
luck tonight, 9 o'clock, Asbury Lanes. I love the kind of the late night, like, horror
Totally.
thriller block. So
The midnight movies have been some of my like favorite film
dude.
festival
Yep.
experiences.
Yeah,
so,
like
like,
ever do Rocky Horror at
oh
midnight?
my God,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, that's amazing.
Cool.
So yeah, Faceless After Dark.
That's it.
Faceless After Dark, Asbury Lanes tonight, 9 p.m. And congratulations, my friend.
Thanks, man. I appreciate
Yes.
it.
Thank you, CJ. The Garden State Film Festival. We're rolling on. We're only halfway done with day one.
Yeah.
Day one. You have
We got a
time
few
to get down
hours.
for 9 o'clock at the Asbury Lanes.
That's
for
right.
this
Come on
amazing
down.
Film and many other films. And all day tomorrow. We'll be podcasting all day tonight. All night tonight.
All night tonight. All day tomorrow.
Yeah, we got pizza. We got soda.
You can tell
we
we've
got-
been doing this all day.
we got other stuff, but yeah, thank you
Yeah.
so much. I
course.
love hearing your passion and talking about your film for sure.
Definitely, yeah.
So gsff.org, get down here. Do not miss out. No regrets. Watch these amazing films and then come talk to us about it. So we'll see you guys in a bit. Thank you for watching.